So after spending a couple of years, I go back to Mexico as a GS, running a financial group there.
How many people do you have working under you in Mexico?
It was about 10.
Okay.
We had a lot of agents. The office grew a lot.
Yeah.
And during that time while I was there as an agent and became a GS, during that like 2002 to 2010, we also opened up several ROs, border offices and what have you. So there was, our presence really grew in Mexico. And we were able to do some really cool cases. And I was in Mexico, you know, doing my thing, like, and I had a great group of guys and women. And some of the cases that I did allowed me to get invited to speak at conferences with bankers and regulators. Now, when I say bankers, I'm not talking about the sales side of the bank. In banking, financial institutions, when I say banks, they have something called compliance. These people are not the people that are part of the revenue generating side of financial institutions, right? They want to make sure that their financial rails, for lack of a better term, their business platforms are not being corrupted by bad guys, drug traffickers, terrorist financing, what have you. So as a result, compliance works to make sure that the customers that are onboarded, that are brought onto their, as a customer, new customer, meet certain expectations, that you know who they are, be it if it's an individual or a legal entity. So, and I don't want to go into details on that, but the point I'm making is that I was allowed to go speak at these conferences. They were called money laundering conferences. And this was after, by the way, 9/11. And we started getting our relationships with the financial side, the private sector grew because of the Patriot Act and what have you. So they were looking for people to speak, and I would be asked to speak, or my agency would say, go speak. So I would talk about, you know, you talk about cases, you talk about how law enforcement views certain things and what have you. You answer questions, and so that's it. You know, it's something different.
Yeah.
And you're out there. So in Mexico, now I'm a supervisor. It's getting around close to 2010. Been on the job for almost 15 years. Wachovia, a bank, was taken down. When I say taken down, they were targeted and had a deferred prosecution on them for being involved in money laundering for some Mexican drug traffickers. Not to talk war stories, but the bottom line is that Wachovia was a large banknote business in Mexico and Latin America, which means that they were responsible for retrieving US dollars from Latin America and bringing it back to the Federal Reserve. And they would get paid for that. Well, they lost that. They got out of the business, and who defaulted was Bank of America. And Bank of America at the time, this is right after the financial crisis,
Yeah.
so you can't look at things in silos, right? Bank of America just purchased Merrill Lynch, so they became bigger. And as a result, Bank of America now became the number one banknote provider in Latin America. Plus, they had all this exposure now in Latin America through Merrill Lynch. Merrill Lynch is a brokerage house, what they call wealth management, as opposed to banking. So I'm talking with Bank of America on this new title they received. I went to Charlotte with some bosses of mine, and they came to me in private and said, "Do you know anybody who can run Latin America for us, because we're now making it a separate region?" And I told them, yes, I got a few people that I have contacts in the banking business in Mexico, and I'm sure we can get you somebody. And then they told me they were more thinking of me. So I was like a little shocked, and I instantly said no, because I love what I was doing, and you know, get up in the morning and it was a great life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So bottom line is that we ended up I ended up saying no, but after further consideration and discussion with friends and people that I respected, I ended up changing my mind. I did the math, see if this would be the right move. It was a tough move emotionally, but career-wise, it was a good move for me because it opened up a world to me.